So, we've got two persons. One is Jack. He slaves away 40 hours a week at a job he hates. He has no savings, and to feel better in the end of every week he goes out and parties. He scrolls social media and swipes Tinder to chase the next hit of dopamine. Now I've got Chad. He has his own business and reinvests all of his profits into building his dream life. During his free time he builds connections and hits the gym. Instead of chasing women, he lets the women chase him. So now, ask yourself and be honest. Which one of these are you? For most people it'd be somewhere between the two. So if you want to become more like Chet, then listen to what the millionaires had to say about the full 6-step guide that you can use to get ahead of most people this year. Most of the people won't even reach the end of this video, let alone take action. So if you manage to actually listen to all these points, you'll be in a huge advantage. So step 1. Become insanely competitive. I don't buy into the saying it's the thinking part that matters. Well, our educational system is mostly to blame for this thinking, as it's failed to prepare today's youth for the realities of the world. The only reason to take part should be to ultimately win. Just think about it. If you've got a friend to do your maths homework because he was the top of the class, you'd be punished for cheating. But in life, if you got a numbers guide to help you in your business, that's called hiring a financial officer. And that's applauded. So the educational system has got things backwards, but not only that. Social media is making the problem even worse. Instagram is allowing everyday people to see into the lives of the top 1%, and they build unrealistic expectations for life. What was once very simple path to become successful has now become extremely complicated. Back in the day it was all about leaving school to get a job which would allow people to buy a car, helping them to attract women, and after, of course, buying a house and finally starting a family. Nowadays, if a man isn't successful and millionaire, then he's pretty much invisible. I mean, 20% of the people on Tinder get 80% of the matches. This is also leading to rapidly shrinking motherhood in the West, with women twice as likely to not have kids in their 40s compared to the generation before. The popularity of people like Jordan Peterson, Hamza and Tate further approve this point, as they're just saying what a lot of people are thinking. I know I've gone a little bit distracted here, but the world is honestly harder than ever, so if you're serious about getting ahead of everyone else, then you've have to get good at playing the game of life on this harder level. Step 2. Become hyper-obsessive. Another phrase I absolutely hate is work-life balance. There can be no work-life balance when you want to get ahead. People are hungrier than ever, and you need to be obsessed over your goals. There's always going to be someone out there who's willing to outwork you and take everything. I think the idea of balance is more often than not an excuse for people to take it easy. You need to want to achieve more than you want to breathe. This mentally comes from sports, and I see business as the best sport on the planet, as you just keep getting better with age. I even said to my girlfriend that she needs to accept that I am selfish with my work, and it will always come first. I set the expectations, as I knew I couldn't be distracted by a partner that wasn't fully supportive of my mission. It may sound silly, but one thing that will help you tremendously is writing down everything you want to change on sticky notes. Then stack them on your mirror so that you see them every morning. This will keep you accountable, because you will have to wake up and face your realities of your situation and ask yourself why you are not moving faster towards your goals. So step 3. Become a producer. The truth is, for the world to go around, we need consumers. People need to watch mindless entertainment, buy products and fall into the bad debt, so that the 1% can reap the rewards. I know it sounds obvious, but if you created something and there was no one to buy it, then you couldn't become rich. So it's easy for us all to fall into consumers mode, as it's baked into our DNA. We just want to relax, watch TV, buy the latest products and so on. People think you should cut all of the consumer habits out of your life, but to be honest with you, I find that whole monk mode movement a little cringe. Monk mode consists of basic rules, such as at least 10 minutes of daily meditation, no drugs or alcohol, and at least 1 hour of daily exercise. Honestly, this is funny to call it monk mode. I mean, it's my everyday thing. I like to call it being a disciplined man. If you want to achieve anything great in life, you should grow up and give up on these things like parties, drinking, taking drugs and especially masturbation. You need to push your scale just a little bit towards your producer end. Then you will get ahead of most people, as they aren't even aware that they are going through life fully on consumer mode. So step 4. Become better at asking questions. Lots of videos like this will say find a mentor, however, they are very vague about how to actually do that. The secret lies in the questions you ask. There's something I want to clear up. There is such a thing as a bad question. Anyone that says otherwise is mistaken. Take this question, for example. Can I ask for some advice? I mean, millionaires' Instagram messages are full of questions like this and they never get a response. Here's why. When you're messaging an extremely busy person, the last thing you want to do is create more work for them. If someone was to reply to all of these messages, then he'll start hundreds of new conversations and then he'll have to follow up after they've replied with their actual question. So the quality of the question you ask will determine whether or not they help you. On top of this, if you're someone who asks for advice and then don't take action, the next time you need advice, they are not going to waste their time. However, be careful, as there's a lot of fake mentors and gurus out there, so you need to be very careful who you take advice from. Not everyone has the best interest at heart. Step 5. Become immune to net worth. Look, I'm just gonna say it, net worth means nothing. Bear with me on this one. In my opinion, getting ahead of everyone else isn't just to do with how rich you are. It's about the skills and the knowledge and the confidence you acquire while building your empire. Someone could have bought Shiba Inu in the last crypto bull run and cashed out billions. This doesn't mean they know anything useful and how to actually replicate that success. The exact same goes for lottery winners. They often lose all of the money they won very rapidly as they become rich because of shortcut and not the skill that they developed. Some industries are tougher than the others, so in many cases as entrepreneur worth $10 million may actually be a better businessman than some fake entrepreneur worth $100 million. This is why you really shouldn't be measuring yourself based on net worth. I understand why people do it, I mean it's the easiest way to compare success. However, there is much more to being ahead of everyone else than the size of your bank account. Step 6. Become less awkward with money. Every dollar that you spend, someone else is earning. Every building you see as you drive down the street, someone else owns. So the amount of the money out there waiting to be grabbed would shock you. Believing that money is hard to make or that there's a limited supply is what keeps so many people trapped. I read about this guy the other day who actually became a millionaire, and his mentor would make him carry around $1,000 in his pocket when he was younger. This might sound dangerous, but the reason behind it was to make him think of $1,000 as pocket change, not his entire net worth. Becoming more comfortable with money will help you ask for raises, start a side hustle, or even a full-blown business. The other thing that happens when you start to realize that money is everywhere, you should actually become less afraid of giving, and this is the real secret to getting rich. You need to give far more value to other people than you take in return. If you provide value, then the money will follow. I mean, that's why I started my YouTube channel and now I'm giving you free value. The size of your income will also be determined by the problems you solve. So if you want to make big money, solve big problems. Look, 1 degree difference in the trajectory of a flight will put the plane in a completely different continent after a day of flying. The same is true for getting ahead of everyone else. Making a small adjustments now and sticking with it will mean that you end up in a far better place than you were originally heading. Well done for making it this far into the video, and if you did, leave a comment below the video and I will see you in the next one. The best advice I can give you right now if you want to succeed in life is to click here and discover more related videos.